All right, guys, Konami did it. We got a ban list. This is something that kind of came out of left field. We have YCS Niagara coming up real soon, and looks like Konami's trying to figure out what's going to work with kind of a limited list ban list for Speed Duel, the first one we've seen since Speed Duel's launch in 2019. This was announced last night, and it's interesting because it's going to be just for YCS Niagara, the event only. There's going to be a limited list implemented into the Speed Duel tournament, the giant card, and everything that goes on in YCS Niagara. So my initial thoughts from this is that they're certainly looking for player feedback, especially for those that attend YCS Niagara. So I think it's going to be important that everyone that goes, I will not be attending, but anyone that does attend and play Speed Duel pretty regularly, definitely share feedback. The ban list that was released, or I'm sorry, limited list that was released by Konami for Speed Duel for this event is pretty much in line with what we as a community have kind of thought would be on a ban list. There are a number of tournaments that run with their own custom ban list, and this kind of like falls similar into place. So in terms of tournaments that I do with the Speed Duel League, because this limited list is going to be an event specific to YCS Niagara, there's going to be no change to having a ban list or limited list implemented in those tournaments. But it seems like this is going to pave the way for an actual limited and ban list for Konami to use. So, you know, very wishful thinking. I know there's a lot of people out there that were looking to get rid of Zoma and Moth, and other huge threats that are just kind of dominating the meta. So it's interesting that they released this just this week, and I'm excited to see what happens, honestly. And I've always been kind of a fan of no ban lists, just easier to remember. But I understand the gripes for sure. As somebody that watches more at this point rather than plays, I can understand the frustration around something like the Moth and the Zoma and the Nightmare Wheels and the Burn stuff. And this list is actually going to put a lot of that in check. So let's go card by card. Let's see what's going on. But I mean, this is Konami official. Just the level of detail and attention that they're actually committing to Speed Duel at this point, with products lined up, 2 products well into 2023 at this point, and we're playing around with limited lists. It really just feels like a healthy direction for the format. So I'm very excited about that. All right, I'm putting my face over here so I can put the list here, and this is a weird setup, I know, today. So there's nothing's banned. All right, this is a limited list, and how it works is this is going to be similar to Duel Links. So it's like limit 1, you can only have 1 card out of all the cards on that limit 1 list in your deck. You can't have 1 of each, for example. So limit 3, same thing. Limit 2, very similar to Duel Links. Once again, this is going to be for YCS, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series, Niagara in Canada, 2022 only. So they're going to be looking for player feedback. God, if you're there, please provide it, good or bad, because this could certainly kind of cement how they want to run official Konami events for Speed Duel, which will trickle down to LGS stores and qualifiers, giant cards, and our events in the Speed Duel League in the community. So let's go. Okay, limited 1. I'm going to go card by card. I'm going to tell you kind of what it hits, who it helps, who it doesn't help. So the limit 1 is Jinzo, Rhoda, Foolish Burial, and Zoma the Spirit. I think that Foolish Burial is a little tone deaf. I think they're just trying to match, because I think in advance it was limit 1, but like really you're not seeing more than 1. And Foolish Burial, you're really seeing an XYZ unions. So will unions also use Zoma, Rhoda, or Jinzo? No. So I think that that's fine. XYZ unions looking pretty strong here. Jinzo's going to hit Spellproof Armor. It's going to hit Spellproof Armor really well. Spellproof doesn't use Foolish, Rhoda, or Zoma, so they should be able to use all their other tools, but they just lose a Jinzo, which, you know, we know that the Spellproof Armor deck is pretty monster dependent, and there's only so many monsters you can have. So you get rid of Jinzo, not only does it lock down the no spells, no traps threat, but it also removes monster, you know, more monster presence from the Spellproof deck, so that's going to be a pretty big hit, although it should be the only hit for Spellproof Armor. Reinforcement of the Army is going to, you know, it's going to hit your stall burns, the guys that are getting DD Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, Swordswoman, so, you know, some of that stuff that we see in the meta, but nothing crazy. And the biggest one, of course, is Zoma the Spirit. It's a secondary win condition for most decks. Oh, my main win condition didn't work, I'm just going to flip up Zoma and burn him to death. That's going to be a huge hit. There are a lot of decks that won't use Jinzo, Rhoda, or Foolish Burial, and maybe they relied on Zoma, like Stall Burn, or, you know, there's a number of other decks where you can just kind of throw Zoma in there. So that's going to be a huge hit, and that's going to be very important to see kind of how that changes when we see the events at YCS. So Zoma is going to be the big hit, and I know that a lot of people are happy about that because Zoma's annoying. To see it at 3 is obnoxious in a Moth deck, in a Burn Stall deck, or just any deck that just needs filler. You know, it's a great filler trap that we're going to see go away. We'll see. All right, so those are the limited ones. So it's not too egregious. You know, there's nothing banned, like I said, and they could have limited 1 like hard limited Moth stuff. We're going to see that in the limit 2. but not terrible. Just, get rid of Zoma. Essentially, they're saying, yeah, we messed up Zoma. Let's not use that anymore, more or less. You're going to be able to get away with 1. All right. Limit 2. And once again, this is Duel Links, so you can only use 2 cards out of all the cards that are limited to. You can't use 2 of each. So it's very important because we have Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. They put a skill on the limit list alongside Parasite Paranoid. These are all both at limit 2. So this is giving the Moth player a choice, really. You can either use Cocoon and 1 Parasite, and you got to bank on doing it once, essentially. It's limit 2, right? Yeah. Or you can do double Parasite, no Cocoon, and try and play Moth traditionally still more, but it's about cheesing Moth out of your hand, which just like, I don't know which way you go. I think that if you're going to play Moth, you're going to try and just have the 1 Parasite. You got to have ways to thin your deck so you see it. Otherwise, your skill's dead. But utilizing Maneater Bug and some other insects are going to allow you to at least get the draw, but that hits Moth so hard. I like that they put the skill in there because it kind of gives you a choice. If they didn't put Cocoon in there, you could still run 2 Parasite and Cocoon, which is still pretty good. A lot of Moth decks are running 3 Parasite, right? We want to hit that as consistently as possible. So Cocoon in there and make it kind of choose. You could put another skill in there. You could try and get it out naturally with just like dumping it from hand. There are a lot of other options for that to happen. Banishing DD Warrior Lady, Book of Moon, although we'll get to those soon. But Moth, pretty much shut down, not going to be viable. We'll see some people still try and make it work, and maybe it will. I mean, Moth, well, actually, I don't know, because the thing that worked for Moth, if Moth didn't work, was Zoma and Nightmare Wheel. It was a secondary win condition for Moth, and they hit both those things. So when the dust settles, we'll see what's good. I know that we have a couple BANLIST tournaments. We have a BANLIST tournament series in the Speed Duel League that runs, and we don't see so much Moth because they hit the similar things, either ban Cocoon or else they limited Parasite to 1, something like that to seriously cripple the Moth deck. So Cocoon and Parasite, we're still in the limit 2s. Allure of Darkness, we don't really see Allure anymore. We'll see it in I don't know. We can see it in Dragoon, I guess, but a lot of people don't run it in Dragoon. And there's a lot of decks with not that many dark targets where it's worth running, especially if we're going to see hits in the limit 3, which will come up. So Allure of Darkness, that's all right. Union Hanger at 2. This is going to hit XYZ Unions, but I don't think it's going to hit it hard enough. I think that XYZ Union is going to come out on top through all of this, honestly. Watch out for XYZ Unions because limited. Oh no, I can't use. They're not going to use Cocoon, Parasite, Allure, and the other one's Nightmare Wheel at limit 2. XYZ Union's not going to use any of those. They're just going to use Union Hanger. Oh no, now I can't run 3. I got to run 2. And what's the Foolish Burial? We already used one of those. XYZ Union's going to come out on top here. I just mark my words right now. We're going to see that top. Okay, XYZ Unions needed to be hit harder, in my honest opinion. So that's going to be a problem. It'll be interesting to see. So 2 Union Hanger. And Nightmare Wheel's the other one, limit 2. So, if I'm a burn player, obviously I'll take 2 Nightmare Wheel and the 1 Zoma. I'm usually running 3 and 3 with Floodgates and Wall Disruptions and things like that, but that's going to seriously kind of slow down the burn. I'm going to have to put more Lava Golems in. I don't know what to do. So that's going to hit the annoyance of stall burn, which is great because that means matches go faster and you're not frustrated. So I'm okay with that. Nightmare Wheel 2 is fine. Zoma is definitely more egregious out of the 2 between Zoma and Nightmare Wheel, so that's fine. Okay, so that's all the limit 2. And then limit 3, here's all your staples. They're going to hit all the staples. Only 3 cards out of all the cards there, limit 3 can be used. So similar Duel Links. Got it. Breaker the Magical Warrior. Every deck uses this except like Spellproof Armor and XYZ Union. So that's bad. You're going to get hit there. DD Warrior Lady. Oh my god. You guys are so screwed. Moth players, you're done. You guys are so screwed. You can't, and you got to pick 3. Breaker, DD Warrior Lady, Book of Moon. Moth players, you're done. It's over. Book of Moon's a great way to get all like Nightmare Wheels and all sorts of other crap. Well, actually, Nightmare Wheels, getting the Moth, coming out like cheesing out of the hand with Parasite flipping, all that stuff. Book of Moon, great defense. So, sorry, I stuttered there for a second because I had a PTSD flashback of the ruling and had to remember. All right, Cosmic Cyclone. Yeah, that's all right. Not too bad. That's pretty much the go-to magic removal that isn't Breaker. No one's really using Night Beam anymore. You could use Night Beam, but Cosmic Cyclone's great because you banish. There's things that happen in Grave that's annoying, especially Stall, XYZ Union, so Cosmic Cyclone's usually the go-to. But you have limit 3, you have Breaker and Cosmic Cyclone on the limit 3. That's going to be a problem. And then Metaverse. They put Metaverse in limit 3, which I haven't seen. I don't think we've seen ever. I'm sorry, Magnet Warriors? Metaverse, can't really use it anymore, or if you're going to go all in on it, but we don't really see it. You could Metaverse in a couple decks, but I really only saw it in magnets, with the field spell for bouncing, just because it's so critical for them. If you don't get hanger, you don't get hanger, but I don't see the point in that one. So Breaker, DD Warrior, Lady, Book of Moon, though, definitely my 3 that I would say, yikes. Yeah, we got to figure out what other cards are in this format again. I can't remember any other good staples. Everyone just runs 3 Breaker, 3 DD Warrior. If you're not Spellproof Farmer or Unions, for example, or Dragoon. Well, no, you still put in a Dragoon. So yeah. Okay, so that's it. Nothing banned. What's the biggest hit? Conclusion. Biggest hit is Moth. Moth's dead. Burn's dead. Stall, severely crippled. Burn, Stall, severely crippled. We might still see it. There's always going to be a way. Spellproof Armor, crippled. Not dead. Sometimes Spellproof Armor never sees Jinzo and they win. Cyber Dragon, Claw Solus. You're going to see those things anyway. Soul Exchange. Stuff like that's still going to be annoying as hell. Cyber Angels, I think, will prosper here because these are all just secondary Cyber Angels. We're going to see a lot of Cyber Angels. Relinquished, I think, is going to prosper here. I think that they're going to do well. Might see some Relinquished drag back up. Really didn't hit anything with Ritual, like pre-prep or anything like that. I mean, it wasn't that strong. We really just, this is hitting Moth and some of the big guys in the Stall Burn. The stuff that makes the format not fun, which I appreciate. But I think that the resounding winner here is XYZ Unions, absolutely. So if you're going to YCS Niagara, play XYZ Unions. There are deck lists out there from before Duel Academy that are they still hold water. That is pretty much what we're using. I think on Duel Academy, what did we get? I don't think that they added really anything. There might be one staple that they put in, but I can't remember. So there you go. The ban list. I'm excited to see the feedback that Konami gets from this because, it would definitely shake up the format. I think that there's a lot of stuff. I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's enough stuff coming up. We got Paradox in October, and then we got the new box, Shadow whatever, in 2023, that I don't know, to have the limited list, while I think it may be necessary, we're not stale right now. I don't think we're really that stale. So I get that the limited list kind of comes in to shake things up, which would also that'd be great to see and appreciative. But for now, it's restricted just to YCS Niagara. It's for all the Speed Duel public events and the Win-A-Mat and the Attack of the Giant card. So in terms of all other events that would happen anywhere in the world from an LGS or anything in Speed Duel League that isn't the ban list tournament, there's still technically no ban list. So when YCS Niagara comes and goes, we'll see what happens and we'll react accordingly. But I wanted to shoot this really quick for you guys, just get the knowledge out there. Let me know what you guys think. What else should they hit? I think they should have hit XYZ Unions a little better. But they kind of nicked away at it with like the errata with the skill. Kind of like clarification of the skill. Hitting a hanger. I mean, it's people only run 2 anyway. It's Scramble's the one they should have hit. I might have got those mixed up. Scramble's the trap. You should have hit that. Hanger. Ursus runs 2, and Ursus is the XYZ Unions player. So there you go. All right, guys, I'll stop rambling. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.